Good afternoon and welcome to Biztech Asia Midday Market Watch. I'm Samantha Voon and with me here is Brian Fernandez. So let's start with taking a look at the summary of the market action. Brian, over to you.
Now we're going to start with Asian stocks. Obviously, Asian stocks were a mixed bag today, with Japanese markets hitting all-time highs and Chinese shares sliding further on increased tension in Taiwan. With South Korea, however, outperforming on gains from Samsung. Now, broader markets were mostly range-bound in anticipation of key U.S. non-farm payroll data later today. Now, a U.S. holiday yesterday for 4th of July was made for limited trading cues, while some cooling sentiment over interest rate cuts also factored into market caution. U.S. stocks index futures moved little in Asian trade. Now, of Asian markets, Chinese stocks were the worst performers for the day. Now, with the Shanghai Shenzhen CSI 300 and the Shanghai Composite indexes losing about 1% each. Both indexes extended a slump seen through most of June and early July. Now, today's price action was driven by concerns over increased tensions with Taiwan after reports said that China had seized a Taiwanese fishing trawler operating near the Chinese coast. Reports today also said that the Chinese military aircraft were also in the Taiwan Strait. Other reports also showed Taiwanese firms were pulling staff out of China after Beijing warned of extreme measures, including the death penalty, against supporters of an independent Taiwan. Now, markets feared any escalation in tensions, particularly aggression by Beijing, could draw in the US and spark more economic sanctions and restrictions against China. Now, losses in mainland stocks pulled Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index down 0.8%. Now, for updates on South Korea and Japan, over to you, Sam.
All right. So over in South Korea, the Kospi was the best performing in Asia today, rising nearly 1%. The index was boosted by the 1.5% rise in Samsung Electronics, the largest stock in the country, after the conglomerate flagged a 15-fold spike in its second quarter profit. So Samsung benefited greatly from the increase of demand for memory chips from the AI industry, and this really pushed up sales and also improved margins. So not just that, its consumer electronic business also was seen benefiting somewhat from the AI integration. These gains in Samsung also spilled over to other chip-making stocks. Stocks like its rival SK Hynix did rise 1.7%. Over in Japan, the Nikkei 225 and Topix index steadied near record highs today, and the latter briefly hitting record levels as well. So recent strength in the Japanese market was driven by export-oriented stocks surging against a weaker yen, while the prospect of limited monetary tightening by the Bank of Japan, BOJ, also boosted sentiments. The household spending data reads substantially softer than expected for May, furthering the notion that the Japanese economy remains fragile and will need more monetary support. And of course, this in turn further bets that the BOJ has limited headroom to tighten policy further, keeping in place most of the ultra-loose monetary conditions enjoyed by most Japanese markets for nearly a decade. Japanese tech stock also tracked gains in Samsung, and in the investment giant SoftBank Group Corp rose 0.4% and set at record highs as the report said the firm was seeking large volumes of chips from NVIDIA Corporation. Over for the broader Asian markets, the markets moved in flat to low range, and the Australian ASX 200 fell 0.2%. So that's all for our markets update today. This has been Biztech Asia Midday Market Watch. Be sure to keep informed on the latest market updates on weekdays at 1 p.m. I'm Samantha Voon.
And I'm Brian Fernandez.
And this video and podcast will be on our website, www.biztech.asia, as well as our syndication partners' TV stations, radio stations, and website. Remember to like and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in.